Welcome back to another action figure review. In this review, we're going to be taking a look at the new Mattel Masters of the Universe Revelation Masterverse Faker action figure. This is the packaging it comes in. It's a very long box. We have the top left there, we have 30 points of articulation. On the top right, we have a barcode. On the very front, top left, we have the recommendations for ages 6 and above. On the top right, on the very front, we have the Netflix original series logo. And then we have a very large window box showing the action figure and the accessories. At the bottom, we have the Masters of the Universe Revelations nameplate along with the Faker name below it. And on the bottom right, we have the Mattel logo. What's really interesting about this, as a heads up, as of the release of this video, I got this from Target.com for $19.99, and I believe that's some kind of a mistake because it's not on sale. It's currently $19.99. A couple Targets I stopped into, they wanted $29.99, and another Target was actually $32.99, which is expected for the current inflation issues. So you might want to check your local Target.com, just to see if you can save $10 on this guy, or even $13, depending where you live at. But this is actually considered like a deluxe figure, so they are supposed to be retailed at $29.99. But it's a good deal on Target.com. If you can get it for that price, why not, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at the top of this packaging. Now on top of the box, it just basically says Masterverse, and we have a little bit of the window box showing through there on the bottom trim. Now on the side of the box, we have the very nice artwork of the character. Looks fantastic. And here's another view of that side. I love the artwork on these boxes. They're fantastic. I decided to retain my boxes just because of the artwork. It looks fantastic. This side of the box has the Faker evil robot of Skeletor. Kind of like a blackout faded name. That looks pretty cool. Here we have the back of the box. It shows some more of that beautiful artwork. We have a Faker bio there, so if you want to go ahead and just pause and read that here in a second, I'll show it to you. And at the bottom, it actually shows some other offerings from Wave 1, the Deluxe Skeletor and Battle Cat that are currently available, as well as of the release of this Faker Deluxe figure. So let's go ahead and bring this forward, and I'll get you set up for a pause and read if you would like. So hold this for like 3 seconds, and then we'll move on, so you have the opportunity to read Faker's bio. It's actually pretty cool, and I do highly recommend you take a minute and just read what it says. So actually my box is in pretty nice condition. I'm just going to cut the top piece tape here. That's right there. And I'm going to slide my figure out that way. That way I'm not tearing apart or cutting additional tape that's not needed. And I think I might have some tape right in the center here by the hanger. I do. So I'll be able to go ahead and pull him out without worrying about damaging the initial outer box. If you've noticed on any other figures, just on the inside flap, it says "By the Power of Grayskull." It's kind of hidden when you're opening up, and it's right on that flap piece. That's pretty cool, like a little surprise, I guess. Here's a look at the insert. It's like a brick, multi-tone grays, darks and lights of gray, stone looking. So it's actually pretty decent. You can go ahead and maybe you can use that for your displays or custom cardboard, however you see fit. Or if you just keep your packaging, it's actually nothing's attached to worry about any holes poking through a tape or ties. Makes it pretty nice for collectability, in my opinion. So you can basically take your figure and accessories out and put them back in, which is a great feature. Okay, here's Faker outside the packaging. It looks pretty nice. This is basically a retooling of the He-Man action figure. Pretty much anywhere from the waist down is a carbon copy of the He-Man figure, and then the chest, arms, and this particular head sculpt is the retooling of the action figure itself. You can see the very nice cybernetic metal, robotic looking metal, I guess. I don't know exactly what to call it, but the metal material that makes up the robot. It has a very beautiful paint to it. It's actually kind of metallic, and it almost gives you kind of like a, I've heard a lot of people comment and say like more like a Terminator type feel to the figure, but he looks really cool. So let's go ahead and take a look at this head sculpt. He does come with 3 different alternate heads, but we'll take a look at the one that we have currently. And you can see that he does have his red eyes. Half of his face is ripped off. It is basically the same expression that the He-Man has, same hair. Hair kind of comes down the side of his head and down towards the front. It has like a yellow dirty wash across the hair there to bring out some of the aesthetics and sculpt work. Looks really cool. For his chest, he does have that He-Man strap piece on his harness piece, I guess you want to call it, on his chest. And there's the back of it here. But you can see throughout on the upper torso and the arms where they look really, really close. We have the red around the trim where the flesh has been ripped off. Kind of gives you, an idea that that was, blood stain, maybe, scar tissue from the battle damage that this figure has sustained in a battle. Now that he's been revealed as a fake He-Man. But I think this gives you more of an adult collector feel because of the overall, I guess, gore of it in a way, because it has this red trim of blood, scar tissue type overall look to it. But it looks really awesome. He has the red squares on top of each of the straps. They have the H in the center. It's also done in red with the kind of like a tribal type H, I guess. On this hand, he has this goldish gauntlet, yellowy goldish. It's not yellow, it's kind of a metallic yellow on a verge of gold, I guess. And then we have his arm pad here done in like a yellowish with the light brown strap holding it on. Then we have the overall fur around his waist. Does have his yellow belt. Back of it. Then we have his fur on top of his boots, with his brown boots with the straps, just like He-Man. This is a really nice action figure, especially if you can get this for like $20. You do get the extra accessories. So for the articulation of Faker, we're going to take a look at his head. It rotates 360. We have a little bit side to side there. He does look down. He will look up a little bit, not like up, but like more back to stationary, but a little bit above stationary, I guess you could say. So his arms are on a ball joint. They do rotate 360 all the way around. One thing about these figures, I'm thinking you want to watch when you try to raise the arms up. Try not to put a lot of force on here because these are just pegged into the ball of the upper arm. And you may bend and break that if you're not really paying attention. So I would try to grab, as close as you can to this ball and try to, use your force on the ball here. So that gets you about that far up. But that's my recommendations. We don't want to break our figures. Figures are hard to come by. It's hard to come by now with all the collectors and scalpers and, all the issues going on right now about delays and shipping and stuff. So we want to be careful for the figures that we do find. And hopefully you don't have to resort to paying ridiculous prices on the second market. But if you find them in a store, you want to make sure to try to be careful not to break them. So this does, like I said, it rotates 360. The bicep here does rotate 360 also around. We have a bendable elbow. Gets you 90 degrees. Like that. And then for the wrist, we have a 360 rotation. And on this hand, we have the in and out. And you can see the joint right there. And it will come forward. And on this hand, it has the same too. So we have the going this way on both. So now we have him in a power, showing his muscle stance. So we'll take a look at his chest where we have his arms up and out of the way. So we have chest articulation here. It does seem a little bit stiff, but it goes back and forth. I'm not going to force it. It seems it wants to kick back on me, maybe because it's Sculpt, or because it's new. A little side to side, not much. But then on here, at the bottom of the stomach, there's a 360 rotation for here. But this here, it's there. You can see it. It goes up underneath here. I don't want to force the figure and break it. So for his lower waist, he'll spread about that much. Pretty cool. We have thigh rotation. We have a double jointed knee, which is great. And then for his feet, they do pivot down. Pivot up just a little bit. And let's see if we get a rotation. You can, rotate it around the ankle as you see fit. So there is a good bit of articulation in these figures. So I'll go ahead and get him cleaned up, and we'll take a look at some of his accessories. First off, we'll take a look at his other two alternate heads. Here is the He-Man basically head, but the difference in this one, he has the red eyes. You can see that. So here's a comparison between the two. More of the recognized He-Man heads. And then we have the full robotic head with the red eyes, metallic. We have the white teeth. What's just interesting about these heads, there's no extra ball joints in the heads. I'm assuming it's just going to be one to share for 3 alternate heads. Here's a look at the full robotic head. Looks really, really nice. Kind of fills out the robotic look of Faker. And here we have the He-Man head, without the damaged, half a face, like this. And if you're interested, here's what the joint looks like on the figure. I think it's like a ball bell type peg. Okay, next up, he does come with 2 alternate hands. He has this open hand. There's no robotic pieces on the hands, they're just full flush hands. And then we have the fist gripping hand. The one he has on his person right now is a closed fisted hand, but this is the gripping hand for his sword. And I believe the other hand is probably for his shield. So next up, he has his Faker harness, or more traditional looking for like a classic look. I know the original Fakers kind of has this orange chest armor, and then he has blue skin, but this is more of a modern take on the Faker figure. Hopefully in the Masterverse line or some of the other lines that are coming out, we will get a classic Faker with the blue skinned version. It'd be really cool. So basically you have the alternative just to put this on in place of the He-Man strap harness. So you basically can just take off this back piece right here, and you can, it's like double overlapped, so one over another, and then pop off the head to stick this on. The back of the He-Man figure, basically you have to unstrap it here on these 2 pieces. Okay, here's with his classic harness on. Looks really cool. A classic Faker with the correct colors would be amazing in this scale, especially in this Masterverse line. It's getting, a lot of attention. I kind of wish I had a little bit of paint here on the, there's a lot of segs there you can't really see. You know, little detail on those little dots on the end of these flaps. And that looks like a bat or some kind of flying creature. The crossbones here, if that was painted really to detail, that'd be an amazing piece. Very nice. So here is the fake power sword. We have these very nice silver blade, the orange handle and pommel section. We have the brown wraps, same color that is his harness there. Looks really, really good. And then we have his shield, the gray and the orange. And this is kind of flexible, so I'm not sure if you actually need the straight hand. Yeah, I guess you kind of would, because you would want to put the arm through here and then slide the hand into there. So I went ahead and swapped out those hands, and that's what the alternate hands look like. It's really cool. And here he is holding the fake power sword. Holds it very nicely. The hands are very stiff. It does take a little bit of effort to get the fingers to spread so he can hold the actual power sword, but it looks fantastic. Okay, here's where the shield can hold it really nice. The shield even fits with that gauntlet already on his forearm, so you don't have to worry about that getting away or have to remove it. But you can if you want to, but it's not necessary. As you can see here on the intersection here, you can get this. Oh, I had it over there, up over that brown one, and then in between the two straps really helps keep it on. You can see here, but you can see how well that is tolerance and measured out to where it fit perfectly. If you insert the gray strap between the two brown ones, and you can see his thumb goes over that one and his fingers are gone on the other side, so that is a perfect fit for the shield. No problem at all. This is a really cool figure. This does have a modern feel, something new, something different. If you're looking for something different in your He-Man figures, I am a big fan of classic stuff, but I'm looking for something more in my figures. Like I do enjoy these new Masterverse figures because they give us a more of a modern manufacturing engineering look, more realistic, more of a adult collect feeling. I am a huge classic fan, but I don't know, I just think these are going to be very popular in the future and very valuable in a long-term investment. I wish he was blue, to be honest with you, but the metallic robotic parts, like the head, this metallic head, this looks fantastic. The paint is amazing on this set. I'm not sure how they could have done like a pack where you satisfied the classic collector versus the version from the Revelation cartoon. But I think they did a fantastic job kind of in between. And the really thing you really lost out here was his, the overall blue skin. But you really think about it though, if you were trying to be fake, you want to fake out somebody that you're He-Man, you really can't walk in the door with blue skin when He-Man obviously don't have blue skin. So you got to think of it that way too. It's more very up to date, to the letter basically, because I know obviously you have his chest exposed. Unless they give you an entire new He-Man figure, you're not going to be able to emulate a clean He-Man imposter. But I think I see where they're going with it. A modern look of He-Man, but with a touch of the robotic parts. So let's just hope, and I'm sure we will eventually get a classic faker in the line. That's not, because it's not Revelations, but I think this is really cool. It doesn't bother me a whole lot. I think it's a very interesting take on it, so it'll add to your playability, definitely add to your myth of the He-Man universe. So I highly recommend this figure, but I really recommend you guys check out Target.com if you want this figure right now. As of this video, $19.99. It's not a sale. Deluxe figures are going now for $29.99. Just the new deluxe ones that are Trapjaw and Triclops, they're now $35 on online pre-orders. So I don't know what they're being in store. Those are probably slated for early 2022. So to get a deluxe figure for $19.99, you heard it here first on Blast Guys Reviews. Hopefully you like this review. Hopefully you pick one up at that price. Happy hunting. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that thumbs up for me. I really, really appreciate it. Comment down below, share the video, and we'll see you in our next review.